Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a legend of neo-vintage, launched in 1994 and across all variants made in only 638 pieces over a decade of production. This is the Vacheron Constantin Mercator. The reference 43050 in yellow gold. It was released in 1994 to commemorate 400 years since the passing of pioneering Flemish cartographer, geographer, and instrument maker Gerardus Mercator. And in addition to featuring a hand-engraved solid gold dial in the style of Gerardus Mercator, it features a unique double retrograde system in the form of navigation-style path dividers and a gorgeous yellow gold 36mm case. So let's look at what we've got here. First, I should let you know that if you're watching this in 2026, the watch has 2026 factory service paperwork with it, so you're getting it as good as it gets. The timepiece is 36 in diameter in yellow gold. It's 8.6 millimeters thick, incredibly short across the wrist at 41.4 millimeters lug tip to lug tip, with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, the nice thing about neo-vintage, or watches from more or less the 80s and 90s, is that oftentimes the watches interchangeably fit men and women. My wrist is 16 centimeters circumference, and you can see how well it fits. Really quite easy, to the point that I could recommend this watch for a wrist of any size. No restrictions. Taking a look in profile, it is very flat. It will fit underneath the cuffs, no issues there. The strap is a substantial Vacheron factory piece, so the leather is thick cut. It's high grade, large rectangular and medium rectangular scale alligator leather from the underside of the beast. You can see curved spring bars so that the strap can move without any impediment against the flank of the case. And the watch does include a foldable deployant clasp, so you can see this feature was only emerging in the 1990s, but it does feature when it's friction fit. You can see it has a little pin in the buckle, so that the idea is with a deploying clasp, you loop in the other side, and it'll be harder to drop this when you're donning it or removing it at bedside, so it'll form a full loop over your wrist. Of course, we've got that little bit of the Maltese cross in the buckle, the symbol of the company. You'll also find it on the crown, for example. Now look at this watch. Look how sharp this case is. Look how sharp the lugs are. Look at the break between lugs and case. This is welded lug, manual, hand craft, labor-intensive case construction at its best. The lug inserted into a slot in the case flank, welded on, and then filed by hand to create these super sharp breaks between lug and case. Not easy to do. Laborious, slow going. It's the kind of thing Vacheron could do more often back in the 90s when it was building far fewer watches. But you can also see the fluting on both sides of the lugs. On all four of the lugs is absolutely as crisp as a well-pressed suit. This watch shows no evidence of having ever been refinished. And you can see it's not too perfect. There are some little marks on it to confirm that this is not a refinished or heavily polished watch. There's a lovely coining on the case back, and we'll get there in a moment, along with the hand engraving. Really special elements. But let's talk about the dial side. These feature projections in the style of Gerardus Mercator. And so if you look very carefully, you can see they're actually signed by the artists who realized them. Jean and Lucie Gunbrugge of Belgium are often cited for their work on enameled dials in this series, but you can see they have also signed this engraved solid gold variant of the Mercator dial, and it includes a combination of engraving and inking to create this lovely image of Asia and Africa, the Indian Ocean, the Indo-Chinese realm, and Europe. And it is beautiful. The path divider at center works as a double retrograde, and I'll demonstrate how this operates. Super crisp. A system characteristic of Vacheron's modern era interest in retrogrades and jump hours. You can see how sharp and immaculate those dividers are. Absolutely awesome. Taking a little bit of a look at the dial, because it is a work of art. You might want to get a closer look at it. engraved gold, and we turn it over. We have Vacheron caliber 1120/2. It's based on the JLC 920 Bosch that was originally created for the Holy Trinity, Vacheron, Patek, and Audemars Piguet in 1967, and it was only ever used in their watches, never by Jaeger-LeCoultre itself, and never by any of JLC's other clients. So you will only see this movement in Holy Trinity. It is Geneva seal. It is gorgeous. You can see that we have the 1594 Gerardus Mercator, 1994, dedication at the bottom, commemorating 400 years since his passing. 36 jewels, adjusted in 5 positions, which is the high horology standard. It's a little bit of a vintagey beat rate because it is a product of the 60s, so 19,800 vibrations per hour. It is a unidirectional winder with a 40-hour power reserve. We'll take a look at some of the decorative elements on different sides of the movement, including solarization on crown wheel core as well as ratchet wheel, stripes, engine turning on the base plate, polished screw heads with chamfered slots in circumference. You can see bevels inside the jewel and screw sinks, and then gorgeous broad anglage on the edge of the bridges. It is awesome. And then we've got this beryllium ring that wraps all the way around the movement, and then there are 4 ruby roller bearings that support the ring, and then the mast goes on top. And because of those 4 bearing supports, the rotor can be sunken down very close to the bridges and the base plate without contacting it. And also important to note is that even with the module added, the whole thing is only 4.1 millimeters thick. This is a 2.4 millimeter thick base caliber, an ultra-thin automatic. 30 meters water resistant in its day. Nevertheless, I probably wouldn't test that theory in the modern era. Given how beautifully this watch, movement, case, and dial have survived, I would not risk it in the deep blue, or in this case, gold sea. So if you want to own something extraordinary, historically important, and visually spectacular, a work of pure art, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.